my child has an allergy, going to school and going to friends' places, do they carry an EpiPen with them? Does the school have EpiPens available? What's the process there?
So yes, if your child had an anaphylaxis, then it would be really important for the school to be fully informed, and definitely have an EpiPen at school. Most schools actually don't have generic or backup EpiPens. Some do, but as a whole they don't. So having that one EpiPen for your child's safety is really important. And now EpiPens are actually available on prescription for people that have anaphylaxis, so they can have 2 EpiPens, and one of them can be at school and one for home as well. So most primary school level children would have their EpiPen kept in the school office, and public health nurses, part of our role was to go and provide education to school staff about how to recognise an allergy or anaphylaxis, and then how to use the EpiPen if they should ever need to. So that's part of our role to do that.
So how do you use an EpiPen? And would you teach the child how to use it, or is it that it's got to be done by an adult?
How you use an EpiPen, and no, it doesn't necessarily have to be done by an adult. In fact, in high school situations, it's actually a very good idea for the young person or the teenager to have taught, had a wee teaching session with their immediate friends and things, that they're aware of both how to recognise and how to use the EpiPen itself. So on the action plan are the instructions for how to use an EpiPen, and also they're also clearly written on the EpiPen itself in case anyone was ever sort of flustered in the moment. It's all written down for them. So very, very easy to use. So they get kept in a plastic container. You take it out of the container, you take the blue cap off, just flip it off like that, and with a tight fist, hold it with a tight fist, and it's orange to thigh, blue to sky. Well, I've just taken the blue cap off, but holding it very firmly, and it is best to go, not have clothes restricting, but if in the heat of the moment you need to go through clothes, absolutely fine, as long as you're avoiding thick seams of clothes. So holding in a tight fist, you just firmly press roughly about the middle of their thigh and on the side, because that's the largest muscle there, and firmly press down, and you will hear a clicking noise, and you may hear, don't be put off by that. Lots of people have been put off and have pulled it away before they actually receive the medication. But keeping it on there for a very slow count of 3. If in doubt, keep it there for 5 or 6 seconds, but just nice slow count of 3 seconds before you remove it. And by the way, it's very important to get the child or young person to lie down before you give it, and stay lying down once they've received it and waiting for the ambulance. And all an EpiPen is a fixed dose of adrenaline. And adrenaline is a natural hormone that our bodies all make. So we make this hormone it's for the fight-flight response. So if we're ever in any danger, then either we run away or we stay and fight. Well, that's what adrenaline is used for. So the EpiPen has just got a much larger amount of adrenaline contained within this pen than our bodies could possibly make in one go like that. So that's why we need it. And quite often people will need further doses after a few minutes. That's why it's very important to keep the person lying flat and wait for the ambulance, and for the ambulance to be on its way in case they need a further dose.
And what sort of expiry does the EpiPen have? Like, are you getting them, every 2 months you're getting a new one even though you're not using it? Like, what's the...
Generally between 12 and 18 months. It's... All pharmacies and chemists are a little bit different with that, but quite often if people are ordering through the Allergy Pharmacy, which is an online pharmacy based down in Queenstown, then they will probably get a longer period of time, and sort of up to 18 months would be the best.
We're definitely seeing now that they're funded, that there's not a lot that have been sitting on a shelf for a long time. So we're definitely, like in your local pharmacy, you will find some that have an extended shelf life. what used to happen prior to them being funded was they'd have them in stock and they'd sat there for a long time, so you had a short window. So now generally we're seeing a good turnover of them because now they're finally funded.
Yeah. So that's just happened recently, is it?
Beginning of last year.
That would be something that really needed to be funded.
Absolutely. We're very happy about that, aren't we, Amy?
So, it's a game changer. So you can have, in our country, obviously, 2 funded EpiPens, and as soon as they're going to expire, they can be replaced, or if you use them, they get replaced. And so,
So, lots of families do ask, actually, can I still use the EpiPen even after it's expired? And the answer to that is, if you've got nothing else and it hasn't expired by too much, even if it's 2 or 3 months, absolutely do use it. Use it and be calling an ambulance. If it's long gone, then maybe not. But just use it if it's only just gone.
And if it has been expired for a long time, rather than just get rid of it, have a practice of giving it, is something I often recommend to families, so you know the feel of it. It's similar to the training pen, which we give families to practice with, but it's getting used to that feel. So use your expired one into something soft that's not going to rebound, usually something like an orange or something like that, and then you can take it into your pharmacy to get rid of.
What happens if I give the EpiPen to my child but they didn't really need it? Is there going to be any effects that I should be concerned about?
Yeah, so first of all, don't worry. If it wasn't needed, it's not the end of the world. So the child obviously is going to be lying down and is going to look unwell. So they're going to be a bit pale and trembly and just look unwell. But that is all normal from receiving a dose of adrenaline via an EpiPen, so don't worry about that. So it is really important though that the ambulance is still rung and the child still goes to hospital for monitoring, even if they didn't need the EpiPen. And sometimes people are a bit unsure, especially in cases that that the child has got asthma as well. So some of the symptoms of anaphylaxis, like the persistent cough or the wheeze or difficulty breathing, that kind of thing, it's very similar. It does look like asthma, or it could be anaphylaxis. So if you go ahead and give it and it's not needed, don't worry. But they will still need monitoring in hospital for a few hours.